Morning, girls. Okay, so this is going to be a presentation about how to use the invite part of the vital behaviors. I've been getting a lot of questions from my team, from you guys, about how to go about inviting prospects, potential clients, and coaches, and how to get them on board. I think that this, in the beginning, is one of the scariest parts of being a coach. I think a lot of us tend to worry about what other people are going to think or how they're going to react, and we let that get in the way of how we go about inviting people to join us in something that we know is fantastic. So let's talk about first what the three vital behaviors are. The three vital behaviors for Beachbody, and this comes all the way from corporate, is number one, invite, invite, invite. Obviously, that is exactly what it sounds like. You want to constantly be inviting new people to join you in your journey. You want to invite new people to participate in challenge groups. You want to invite people to join you in your business. You want to invite people to just hear about your story and why you love Beachbody. You just want to be talking and sharing all the time. The second one is to be a product of the product, which is probably one of the easiest, I think. This just means if you love the product and you're trying to share it with other people, you need to be kind of a walking advertisement. This is not, absolutely does not mean that you need to look like a fitness model or look like a personal trainer. It does not. It just means that you need to be consistently walking out the life that you are advertising to other people. You need to be using a product, a workout of some kind from Beachbody, and you need to be drinking your Shakeology. I think Shakeology is probably one of the number one. If you haven't caught onto it yet, because Shakeology is a recurring order in most cases, it is a very, very stable source of income that you don't have to mess with. Once you have already gotten someone signed up with Shakeology Home Direct, you get the $30 from their order forever until they stop using it. Every single month when their order ships, you get another $30. Add that up, you get 50, 60, 70 people signed up on Shakeology over the course of the next year or two, and that is a pretty awesome little bit of change that's coming into your bank account without you doing anything anymore. So Shakeology is super important, both to the business, but also to, I think, your overall health and your ability to coach other people to get the best out of their programs. And the third is going to be personal development. We may have talked about this some before, but personal development is really crucial as far as growing your business and just growing yourself. Personal development can be pretty much anything you want it to be. I like to do something that is spiritual for my personal development, and then I also like to do something that is business related. You can choose to do maybe something that is fitness related and health related so that you're gaining some more information to be able to coach more effectively, and then also doing business related. I'm going to give you guys a reading assignment. I want you to either go on Amazon, get an audiobook, whatever your preferred method of reading. You can get it on your Kindle or whatever. I want you to go and get the book Go Pro by Eric Worre. His name is EricWorre. This is an awesome book. It's going to help you understand kind of how network marketing works. Now, my first response when I listened to the book on Audible was, I'm really not a salesperson, I'm really not a business person, and I don't really like going about things in a real businessy kind of way. But the more I've listened to it more than once, I kind of put those assumptions aside and that kind of icky feeling about the business part of it and just listened to what was actually being said. And I tried to understand that I could do this in my own way. I didn't have to do it exactly how they were saying. And I think that you'll be more successful if you find a way that suits your personal characteristics, your personal attitude, your just who you are. It needs to be something that feels genuine. But this book is going to really help you understand how network marketing works, which is what Beachbody is, and how to get the most out of your business. So I highly suggest that. I want you guys to read it. So let's move on. We're going to talk about invite, invite, invite today. So the number one thing about how you're going to invite lots of people to join your challenge group, your fitness group, to come over to your house and have a business presentation so that you can tell them all about coaching and how awesome it is and how passionate you are. The very first thing you have to do is get over your fear. And I think a lot of us fear the unknown. We fear what people are going to say. We fear how people are going to react to us. And we fear that we're going to be judged, that people are going to think that we're crazy, or we're trying to get things from them, or that we've been scammed and we're trying to reel them into some scam, which is a very common thought about Beachbody. A lot of people have this misconception that somehow it's a pyramid scheme, and it is not. So the very first thing you've got to do is get over your fear. And that sounds like I'm trivializing fear and anxiety, but I'm not. I want you to understand what I mean by this. Your fear is going to keep you from sharing something that you know works, that you know will be beneficial, that you know will help. So you have to get over your fear to be able to impact other people's lives. You have to put that aside. It'll take some practice and it'll take some time, but you have to remember that the only thing stopping you and stopping the person that you might share with from hearing about an awesome opportunity and getting involved could be your fear of opening your mouth. So that's the second one. You just have to open your mouth. You just have to start talking. Talk from the heart, be genuine, and listen to what they have to say in response, listen to their concerns. You just have to be yourself, and you just have to open your mouth, and you just have to speak from your heart. Those are the very, very basics of how to invite. But sometimes this is difficult. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of the presentation mode, and I'm going to show you guys what is called the master script. Now, I know what you're thinking. A lot of people are very anti-script, and they kind of feel pretty icky about using a script or what that might say about them to another person. But this is from one of my, and I'll call her my mentor. I love learning from her. I don't have a super personal relationship with her. I've talked to her back and forth a few times on Facebook, but her name is Lindsay Krause. And she is just an awesome businesswoman and coach, and so I really love using her suggestions and her methods. That being said, at first for me, a script was kind of an icky idea. I didn't want it to seem frozen and limiting and just feel not natural for me. So what I am going to suggest is that we're going to go through this, and I want you to go ahead and print this out. I'll put a link for it below the video. And then go through and see what in this you could use to kind of help you form your own master script, to make it your own. So the first part is we're going to talk about making an initial contact, whether you are talking to a client or whether you're reconnecting with just somebody who is a friend, a coworker, a whoever that you're trying to just reach out to and reconnect with. So the first one says, hey, whoever, I've set aside a couple minutes to meet with each of my Beachbody clients. I'm calling you to check in and chat. You can either call or message, but Lindsay is super adamant about using the phone. So for me, that is a big stretch. I hate talking on the phone, but it is a lot less likely that you're going to have people leave you hanging for hours because they got the message on their phone and they were doing something and it was like a Facebook message and then they ignored you and then they forgot that you even messaged them and then they never get back to you. You're going to avoid wasting your time if you just get on the phone. It's hard and it's uncomfortable, at least for me it is, but it is the best use of your time and the best use of their time as well. So if you're reconnecting with a contact who's just a friend or coworker you haven't talked to for a while, you just say, hey, whoever, you crossed my mind the other day and I wanted to get back in touch. How are you? What's new? And then you're going to want to continue your conversation looking for your forms and for your signs. So form we already talked about in a previous presentation. It's family, occupation, recreation, and then I use M as mission. I want to know about what is important to them and what is central in their lives. And then sign is their strengths, their interests, their goals, and their needs. So you're just going to have a regular conversation. Hey, how's the family going? How's work? Have you had any time to go golfing lately or have any time to go hiking lately, whatever their hobby is? You just listen to them and form a relationship with them and begin, building trust. That's really, really important. So you're going to identify a need with your potential clients or contacts. They'll let you know, yeah, life is going okay, but my husband lost his job and it's really hard to pay the bills right now. Or, yeah, it's okay, but, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I'm really getting bored out of my mind. Or someone might say, I just had the baby, and I really want to lose baby weight, whatever it happens to be. So you're going to listen to that. You're going to build up trust and listen to the conversation and let it take place naturally. And then you'll say, I couldn't help but notice you mentioned, and whatever it is that their strength, interest, goal, or need is. And you can, this is where I try to, make it your own. I'm going to read what Lindsay has here, but you want to make it your own, I think. It says, I'm sure you're satisfied with what you're doing now, but I'm actually starting a new fitness routine, health routine, challenge group, test group, whatever it happens to be. And I'm actually looking for a couple friends or clients who would be able to do this alongside me and keep me accountable. Would you be willing to check that out? And then if it's for if they have a business need or an income need, you can say, hey, when you mentioned the fact that you were bored at home and you wanted to find a way to make a little bit of income, were you serious or were you just messing around? And again, do this your own way, make it natural. And then you say, well, I may have a way for you to get involved or to solve that problem or make this happen, but it's completely up to you. I can get you some information if you would like, and we can go from there. If it's a match, great. If not, that's cool too. At least it's a chance for you to decide for yourself. And then kind of let them respond and always ask, would you watch a video if I sent you one? So you're always going to watch or use a third-party tool, which is from your back office usually. That's where you're going to find videos about the coaching opportunity. You could use the coaching presentation that I put together. You could use a video about challenge groups, whatever happens to suit the need of the conversation. So, you'll ask, would you watch a video if I sent you one? And they may ask, what is it about, or what is it for? And like, for example, the 21-Day Fix program, she gave an example of, she doesn't really know how to describe it. She knows that her friend Christina was in a test group. She was working out for 3 years, but she wasn't getting the results that she wanted. And then she used the 21-Day Fix, and she lost all this weight, and it was awesome. Okay, so you can use a fitness-related story if you have one. Say, I don't really know how to explain it to you. You can watch the video, but all I can tell you is I was a part of a challenge group, and it was amazing, and we lost a bunch of weight, and everyone was so encouraging and supportive, and it was just a really fantastic experience. I think you would really be interested. Something to that effect. You want to be honest, speak from the heart, and have a story that will relate to whatever topic you're talking about, whether it's fitness and accountability or business. If it's business related, you can say, I understand that you want more information, but everything you're looking for is in the video or the webinar or the presentation. Really the fastest way for you to understand would be to look at the video, and then we could set up a time to talk about it afterwards. If I made it pretty simple, would you watch it? And then you're going to prepare to follow up. And follow up is key, because if you don't follow up, you're going to lose your prospect or potential client, someone that you can help. You're going to lose them. So you can tell them it's about 20 minutes long. When do you think you could watch it? And they might say, well, let me think about it. Maybe I could watch it this afternoon. So you can say, so if I gave you a call on, let's say, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever, give them a day. You know, give them maybe 24 hours, 48 hours to watch the video. Say, you would have watched it, right? And they say, yeah, sure. So you say, okay, well, what would be the best time and number to reach you at? Get their information and say, great, I'll send you the video and we can talk on this day at this time. And they'll say, okay, blah, blah, blah. You say, all right, well, thanks so much for talking to me. I really got to run. I got some stuff to do, but I'll talk to you then. And then you get off the phone and the conversation. Then we're going to talk about the follow-up. So you set up your follow-up, right? You've got their name and their number. You've got a time and a date to set up. So you're going to you can have me help you. You can have our upline help you, which is Alan. But you can start up the conversation. You know, you get on the phone. It's like, hey, let's say Suzanne, what are you up to today? How was work? Always use form. Make sure that they know this is not just about selling something or getting something from them. Talk to them. Be real with them. Be interested in their life. And then, you know, you can say, so, did you get a chance to watch that video? And if they say yes, then you say, well, did it make sense to you? And let them talk. And if they give you something that they really resonated with them, you know, say, tell me more about that. Why was that important to you? And then always ask, what did you like best? So don't ask, what did you think about it? Because that opens them up to start thinking negative thoughts. And because they're probably already uncomfortable, or they're not sure, or they're kind of iffy, which we all were in the beginning, then that opens them up to start thinking about negative stuff, and you don't want that. You want to steer the conversation in a positive direction. So ask what you liked best. And then this is the part where I try to kind of make it my own. I, again, will read you how Lindsay does it, and then you can go ahead and do it your own way. But just hear how this goes. It keeps the client on track, and it makes sure that they're focused and that they understand not that they understand, but that they are staying on track and that they are not going to let their mind wander. So, okay, let me ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 meaning you have 0 interest and 10 meaning you would be ready to get started today, whether it was for a challenge group or a coaching opportunity, just say, where are you? And the prospect or coach will give you a number, and it's usually obvious from their number if they need more information and they're just kind of not sure, they're kind of concerned, or if they're leaning towards they want to get started. Anything over a 1 is showing interest. So if they are like, yeah, no, I'm really not interested, it's so not for me, then you know, okay, obviously they're not interested. But if they give you anything over a 1, that means that they're interested, they have reservations. And then usually anybody who's like a 6, 7, 8 is someone who really is ready to get started. You could probably ask them if they would be ready to get signed up. I'm sorry about this bubble that keeps popping up. My computer's having trouble with the video. Okay, so you can say, okay, tell me why you chose 7. And always keep your voice in a neutral tone. Don't sound disappointed. Don't sound frustrated. Hear them out. If they have objections, hear them out. And then you can ask, okay, you know, if their number is a lower number, you can say, well, what information or stories would you need to help get your number higher? Or what I would like to say, what information could I get you? Or do you have any questions that would help me kind of ease your fears about it? Or what are your concerns? Ask it in a way that, you know, sounds genuine, that you're not trying to, like, convince them that you're selling them. Just, I would usually ask, well, what are the top 2 concerns that you have? and have them give me their concerns. And then once they do say, okay, I think we could talk about those, I think that you'd be surprised that, those are actually common, concerns, and they're really not that big of a deal. We can talk about those, okay? So you can either say, if I sent you more information on perhaps that concern or whatever, would you be willing to take a look? So when you're doing this, there are going to be a lot of what ifs. So there's a lot of things that can happen that it won't exactly go according to your quote-unquote script, just because it's a real person and they have their own minds and they might just not cooperate and follow exactly how you would like the conversation to go, which is okay. So what if I refer them to a video from Beachbody or whatever, and they say, and they sign up with that? Oh, what if I refer them to a video from Lindsay? What if Lindsay had a really awesome presentation and I used her presentation to send to them as my third-party tool, and they decided to sign up with Lindsay? This is pretty unlikely. They don't have a relationship with the person who's presenting in the video. And if they did, it's really not about you. I think in most cases, they don't have a relationship. They don't know the person that's in the video. All they know is who has spent the most time forming them, getting to know them, putting their trust in relationship. And so I think they'll be concerned that they will see that you're trying to help them and that you're concerned with helping them, and they won't sign up with another coach if you use, like, for instance, my video to send them the coaching opportunity. They're not going to sign up with me, so don't worry about that. The next what if is, what if they don't answer the phone when I call them for their follow-up? So you've set up a time, you set up a date, you try to call them, and they don't answer. So you can leave a voicemail, and I don't love this version of the voicemail. I feel like it can be a little bit manipulative, so it's not my favorite way to go about it. But you can just say, hey, so-and-so, we had an appointment today. I hope everything's okay. I called and I wasn't able to get in touch with you. Can you call me back and let me know that everything's okay? About the follow-up, don't worry about it. I just want to make sure that everything's okay with you guys. So that's kind of my version of it. In her voicemail, she says, I know something must have happened to someone, to you or someone in your family, because you don't seem like the type of person who would not follow through on a commitment. Now, I don't like using guilt trips, so I leave that part out, but I would just say, hey, we had an appointment. I hope everything's okay. Can you call me back and let me know that everything's all right? Don't worry about missing the follow-up. I just want to make sure you're okay. And that is a really good way to leave the conversation or leave the voicemail. And then the last what if we have here is, what if they don't respond to my invitation on Facebook? So you send messages or whatever on Facebook. Or what if our conversation is cut off at any point? What if they lost signal or whatever and they didn't receive your message? Just resend your original message again. It happens to all of us. We check our messages. We try to reply or intend to reply and forget. Most of the time they'll get back to you and apologize for not responding. And if they don't, move on to your next person. This is one of the reasons why I really don't love Facebook as a method of contact. There are certain people I know who are interested in coaching currently who have responded to me, but they are very hard to get in touch with via Facebook. I know they've seen my messages because it says seen, and yet they will not respond. So these are the people who you would want to use a follow-up method where you can get their contact information and call them on the phone and kind of pin them down so that they can't keep running away. Because a lot of times people are just scared and they're like, yeah, I really want to do it, but I don't know, I don't want to waste the money or whatever. And if you get on the phone and they hear your voice, they're going to hear that you're genuine, and yeah, it's a lot easier to talk to on the phone. Okay, we do have a couple more what ifs. What if they ask me if this is a pyramid scam, or they say I'm not into sales? So keep smiling and don't get, frazzled. Say, what do you mean by that? If they say, I don't know if this is a pyramid scam. Say, well, what do you mean by that? Because a lot of people actually don't even know what a pyramid scheme is. Pyramid schemes are absolutely 100% illegal. Okay, so Beachbody is an international corporation, and it is banking money at this point, and it has millions, or well, not millions, hundreds of thousands of coaches. I don't know the correct number at this point, but the likelihood that a huge company, corporation like that would be involved in some kind of pyramid scheme is just not possible. So usually they don't even know what a pyramid scheme is. A pyramid scheme is where basically there's not even a product. So you've got the head honchos up at the top, and they are convincing the people below them to sell a product that really doesn't exist. And so they're selling the product, but they're really not selling it. They're convincing the next people, so their downline, to sign up as coaches or distributors or representatives. They don't have a product to give them, and they just make money on signing up more people as a part of this pyramid scheme. So your product is really not a product, it's signing up people, and you get rewards for signing up more people, even though there's nothing to sell. And so this makes it so that the people at the top are the only people who are getting any money, and the people at the bottom get nothing and get screwed and they lose all their money. Okay, that's what a pyramid scheme is. Beachbody is absolutely not a pyramid scheme. We are a team, we all work as a team, and we only benefit if the whole team is functioning well and the whole team is working together. We get benefits when our team does well. So we want to make sure that our team, our coaches, are doing great, which is why I do training. Okay, so you ask, what do you mean by that? And then you can ask them, is that what you're looking for? Like when they say, oh, I don't want to be a salesperson. Well, is that what you're looking for? And they'll say, no, of course not. And you can say, well, good. We are actually interviewing people to see, I am actually interviewing people to see if they're a right fit, just like I'm doing with you now. So you just let them know, hey, like I'm kind of interviewing you right now. I don't just take anybody onto my team. We aren't salesy. This isn't our thing. We want people to be genuine and real. So you don't have to worry about that. What if they don't want to get on the phone or meet virtually with me via, Skype or Google Hangouts or whatever you choose? Chances are you probably messed up the chat or the script. You didn't say when can you chat and get a firm time and date. If you still did the when can we chat and try to set up a follow-up and they still are trying to avoid, giving you a time and date, just tell them I've really got a lot of interviews this week and I'm really limited on time, and I'm sure you are too. So when would be a good time that we could just chat for like 10 minutes? And just get them to give you an answer. If you can get a commitment, that is going to save your time and save their time. What if we got on the phone and they didn't watch the information? That's okay. Again, I don't really like using the guilt trip thing, not my style. So you can just say, oh, really? That's okay. Did something happen? And they'll say no or whatever. It's okay. Then you can say, I don't want to waste your time or mine. When do you think you could watch it again? And I'll get back to you by then. And then reset up your follow-up. Get a time, get a date, get a commitment, and re-follow up. Now, if they don't watch it again, then they probably are not going to be a person that you're going to want to spend some more time and energy on. You can still maintain contact with them, never cross anyone off your list, never cross anyone off the possibility, but you're just going to want to move on with your efforts and still maintain contact with this person. And then the final one is, what if they find out I'm using a script? So what? Who cares? You're making sure that you are saying the right things, giving them the right information, and chances are they're not going to find out, and if they did, they're not going to care. You can tell them that you're still learning and you want to make sure that you've got all your bases covered, and you want to make sure that you are presenting all the information well, and so you're using a script for a little while until you get used to it, and that's fine. You'll do this so many times that you won't need the script, and you'll be able to figure out what works for you. And so I think, who cares? The script thing is not a big deal at all. So we are going to do our final little thing about using a script. Why should we use a script? Well, you don't have to use a script, but it may help give you some self-confidence in the beginning, that you know what to say, that you've got scenarios so that if something goes wrong, you know how to handle that. You've got the what-if possibilities, and you can look at your script and say, okay, how do I handle this? And it's also going to give you an idea of how the conversation should go. If the conversation is being driven by the other person, that's not a good thing. If they are really being slippery and not wanting to give you a commitment, that's not how it should go. And there's ways to make sure that people commit and don't waste your time and theirs. It's really going to just help you stay on track with your discussion, so I think that's the most important part. So here's some final thoughts. I want to make sure that you know I am not saying you have to use a script. I would never say that. It's not you, then that's fine. You need to find something that works for you and is true to who you are as a person. You have to be genuine or people will know. So I want you to use the principles from the master script, but if you don't like how it's written exactly, which there are parts that I don't, then make it your own if you need to. Now, don't change the principles, but change maybe how you phrase things a little bit. But stick to the principles as much as possible because it works. Keep your conversation moving and focused on the prospects and what their needs are, what their goals are, what their strengths are. Keep it focused on them. If they ask me, well, how are you doing? Say, I'm great, thanks. So, how's family going? How's life? How's whatever? Keep it focused on them. And then get commitments. Your time is valuable, so is theirs. Do not waste your time. You will spend hours and hours and hours and hours chasing people down if you don't follow up, if you don't get time commitments and dates, and you schedule them, you put them in your phone or your planner or whatever, and you just get back to them at that time. You will waste so much time. So always follow up. So I'm hoping that this was a helpful presentation. It is pretty easy, I think, when you have the script to check out and you understand how the conversation should flow. I'm going to be doing another presentation later on about being a product of the product, but I think invite, invite, invite is the hardest of the three vital behaviors to kind of nail down. So I hope that this training kind of gives you an idea of how that would look in a real life scenario. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to contact me and we will have a chat about that. All right, guys, thanks so much.